Now that you have your inventory of hardware and software, the next step might not be so obvious for you. You might just say, well, I'm ready to do a risk assessment. But before you get there, you need to establish a governance structure for reporting those risks that you find. And that is important and not so obvious, of course, that you need to establish that to report to your leadership. And not only that on risk, but also regulatory and operational requirements that you may have in your organization. So you have a few ways to do this, but you find these requirements in the NIST Cybersecurity Framework on a subcategory IDGV4 that you establish risks and processes to report these risks to your organization. There's a few different ways to accomplish that. As more and more requirements has a weight on the board and on the executives and the C-level suite that needs to comply with requirements or report to shareholders and stakeholders on the risk and how they're handling the risk on your organization. And it doesn't matter what size of your organization as well, it is important to have that structure in place. And depending on the size of your organization, you can do this two ways. Well, actually several ways, but I'll give you two examples. One, you can establish an internal committee and sort of an internal governance reporting structure that start with your managers, directors, VPs, SVPs, and so forth as you go up on the organization. These committees, if you will, as you get to the executive level, we need to make sure it's diverse, that represent the total population of your organization from business areas, functional areas, whatever you call them in your organization, that are represented on this committee. Because when you report these risks up to the organization, they will be aware of and be able to make a decision on invest or not invest on a cybersecurity remediation to the risks that you present. The other way to do this is to establish a cybersecurity steering committee. That can be done two ways as well. One, you can establish internally, or if you're a small organization and you outsource your cybersecurity, you can do that also externally, having at least a committee with 3 members that can come in, assess your cybersecurity strategy, roadmaps, your risks, and also report to the board or the executives in your organization as an objective assessment body that provide an objective assessment, of course, of your program. Those are the two ways that I'll give you that I gave this example. There's two ways, but there's other ways to establish governance on your organization. So even if your organization is small and you completely outsource your cybersecurity, you still have the accountability to have a governance reporting established in place so you can update your upper level management of the overall risk of your organization.